Hey everybody, Tristan here. Today we have Raven's level 14 upgrade. This time I'm going to be installing the Proline body mounts for the Slash 2-wheel drive and the Stampede 2-wheel drive. Now what they do, basically they're like what I have on Alpha. They allow you to adjust your body height a lot better, and they actually come with these really sweet screw caps so you don't have to worry about body clips anymore. So I'm going to get these installed. I'm going to first pop the bag open and take a look what we have inside. Inside the package you're going to find all these parts. We got the new screw caps, mounting hardware, the little threaded rods that go inside the body posts. We have the little rubber seals that help with vibration from the body. We got the posts themselves, this little brace here, and then the two mounts for both front and rear. I'm going to be assembling all four before I do anything to the RC, so I'm going to need to take one of our posts along with one of the little threaded rods, thread it onto the post right here, and then once you have it on, you're going to want to take one of the seals and slide it on over. Now when I put these threads in, I'm going to want to put them down halfway through, about to a point where it's no longer easy to thread them on. So as soon as it starts getting tight, stop and move on to the next one. Now that I have all four posts assembled, I can now take them and slide them into the mounts. For the front, I'm going to be using the two long ones, and for the rear, I'm going to be using the two short ones. This is because on the Stampede 2-wheel drive, the front body mounts are much taller than what you can get with the short body mounts that are normally meant for that area. So I'll be using the long ones. The rear ones I don't have to worry about too much because they can achieve the height perfectly, but I'm going to need to use it on the long ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them, I'm going to slide this little brace that they've included onto them and screw down the one screw that holds it into place. And then once I have both of them set like that, I'm going to slide them into the front body mount, just like so. Going to want to make sure the holes are all facing the same direction, that way it makes it easier for adjustment later. And then I'm going to take our old stock body mount. This is just one I've had randomly lying around. Going to lay it right on over, and then you're going to want to adjust them to the right height so that it's stuck. You can always adjust this later. Once you have it set to the right height, you're going to want to find the closest hole and screw down the one screw that holds them in place. It's going to be the same for the rear, except for you don't have to worry about that center brace. You're just going to slide them into place, find the right height, and then screw down the single screw. Now I have both rear and front body mounts assembled. Now I said I was going to be using this little brace right here, but for the purpose I'm using them, which would be between these two, it's not long enough. It's only meant for the rear one, so I'm just going to be setting it off to the side and not using it. For what I've planned, I don't need it. So now we can take them and install them onto the RC. The rear one's going to be a lot simpler, so we're going to start with that one first. All we need to do is unscrew these four screws, pull the old mount off, and put the new one on. Now that I have the new rear body mounts in place, I'm going to pick up the RC, flip it around to the front, and I'm going to be removing the four screws that hold the front suspension into place. There's going to be two right here on the top. I'm going to flip the RC on over and screw the two on the bottom. With the four screws removed, the front suspension should just swivel right down in front. So now we can get to the two screws that hold the front body mounts in place. If we didn't do this, it would be a pain in the butt to get to these two screws, but I've made it so much easier. Once you have those two screws removed, you can just take the new front body mounts and slide them into place, screwing back in the same two screws. Now with that in place, we can now slide the front suspension back onto the chassis, screwing down the four screws that hold it in place. The two on the top, as well as the two on the bottom. Here is before, and with that, guys, here is after. As you guys can see, they look good, and this is definitely one of my favorite upgrades. It's not important to durability or whatever, but I gotta say, I really do love the Proline extended body mounts. They are just beautiful. I love them. You can't beat just having to unscrew them. It may take a little bit more time, it may not, but I love these body mounts. I absolutely do. If I had the choice, I could put them on every one of my RCs. I really would. Well, with that, guys, Raven's level 14 upgrade is done, and we can move on to the next one. So I'll see you guys later.